So, in my chameleon keeping years, I've had a lot of people ask me, where do I even buy a good chameleon from? Or who do I know to trust? So, if you read up on like forums or something or researched, we know that chameleons are not suitable buying from pet store like local pet chain pet stores like PetSmart, Petco, etc. And I've made a mistake in the past. I didn't read up enough. If you guys remember Jerry, I bought her from PetSmart, and she came with problems I did not know. And of course, I didn't know chameleons were not a recommended starter reptile, because she was my first reptile. And the first problem she had was metabolic bone disease. Well, she started to develop it, and over time, it got to the point where her bones started to weaken and make bends in her limbs, which are the arms and legs. So, chameleons from any overall chain pet store are not good, because most of them actually come from like breeding mills, and I know very well that those people don't take care of them. They don't really care about the health. They care only about one thing: money. They really only care about selling them and getting the money off of them. They just want to ship them and be done with them. So, it's not just for chameleons too, it's for other reptiles. They take those reptiles and they get shipped to PetSmart, whatever, and PetSmart tells the employees to set them up, set their cages up incorrectly, and they're already sick. So putting a improper cage setup on them is even worse. It makes them stressed. So Jerry, like I said, she also had a blocked tear duct, which it's kind of in like somewhere. It's in like one of the, I don't know how to explain it, describe it, where it is. It's like at the edge of the chameleon's eye. So that duct was blocked, and along with metabolic bone disease. So that's my experience from buying from a chain pet store, and I hope never to do it again. Now, there's some pet stores you can trust, like local pet stores that are not chains. I bought Rango from a local reptile store, and he was healthy. And I bought Rhino from online, and Ziggy from a reptile show. So I kind of got them in different places. There are people you can trust out there. You just have to know who you can trust. Like I know a few good places to buy from, and some places online. Websites like FL Cams and Frams Cams, those are good. Or if you wanted a Pamphlet chameleon, you would go to camouflagecreations.com. That website's really good for selling Pamphlet chameleons. That's that. And there's some websites out there that are not really good. The website I bought Rhino from, well, I got him from, well, I originally should say Spike. He came from a bad place. after he died, I've read so much bad reviews on how bad CVReptile.com is. That's the website I got them from. Now, this isn't to target them. This is my personal experience with them. They packed them with some type of fuzz, and then eventually got stuck on his mouth. And eventually, he couldn't open his mouth at one point, and that will prevent the chameleon from eating and drinking, which is something we don't want. And I noticed when he, like, later on, I looked at past photos of him the night he passed away. I know Jackson's chameleons tend to be more skinny, but I almost saw too much of, like, his ribs, spine, cheekbones, you name it. And those all show signs of emaciation. I think I said it right. Now, I still don't know to this day why he died from a prolapse. It was prolapse, definitely, because he had blood coming out from his butt. I did not know what organ. Obviously, he didn't develop his hemipenes. I actually think Spike was a female, not a male. Because you see Rhino over there, he's hatchling. Well, he's not really a hatchling because he's not really from an egg, because the females are live bearers. So, hatchling. And he already has his free horns. And Spike, he didn't have his horns at all, which makes me confused. This is definitely a male, because males have the free horns, and sometimes females will. They'll either have like a little nub. Sometimes they'll have just one big horn on their snout. Yeah, he didn't have any horns, and he was a juvenile. And if it was a juvenile male Jackson's chameleon, those horns would have been already grown and bigger than Rhino's. So I didn't get the gender I asked for. Plus, we didn't get the age we asked for. That doesn't mean we paid more. It makes me think he had an underlying illness or disease. I tested him for parasites, and I didn't see anything. The main big thing I look for is movement, and I know what parasites I'm looking for. It's not like I don't know. But, like protozoans, they die when they come out of the chameleon. So I can't see them. They're only alive in the chameleon's body. So I can't see them in the fecal matter. But, like, other parasites, I can. He also threw up the day after I got him. But I do know some chameleons can throw up because of stress. And he did kind of look stressed. Or she. Don't really know the gender for sure. It was definitely throw up. And chameleon vomit, it's not liquid. I mean, it can be. Can have like a liquid around it. There was no urate next to it, and if it was poop, then there would be a urate part to it. And there wasn't at all. I could see more insect parts than possibly fecal matter. Because I could see visible cricket parts, like eyes and antennas. So it just made me think, oh, he's just really stressed. Because he spent 2 days in a box about like that big and in a transit for 2 days. Because he got sorted wrong. So yes, there are some places you can trust online. It's not like you can't buy them from online. From the experiences I had, I would say I will not buy a chameleon from online. Not for a while. Because of what Spike had to go through. He came right on time, which is I'm happy with. Rhino came right on time. He was actually a replacement, because if the chameleon, this is cvreptiles.com's policy, if any reptile dies within 7 days, they'll send you another of that same reptile to you. So he's just the replacement of Spike. So yeah, there is some places you can trust. Like, I would recommend Camouflage Creations if you want a really good panther chameleon. I've never bought from them, but I've heard really good things. And there's also FL Cams. They sell tons of species, and includes Parsons, some I've never seen before. So I would recommend go checking them out. They actually sell, I think, crested chameleons. That's not a chameleon you would see every day. They're actually kind of rare. I've never seen one before in person, but I've seen pictures of them. They have there's tons. I can't remember them all. There's like at least 30 different species. I don't know. You'll have to go check them out. And they sell veileds, panthers, Jacksons, you name it. So places like those are recommended. Or Fram's Cams, they're good too for selling panther chameleons. Those free websites I would recommend for if you wanted to buy a chameleon off of online. But other than that, any local pet store, or I should say reptile store, that has chameleons and they in a proper setup and they look healthy. That's when I saw Rango. His enclosure was kind of iffy. It didn't really have much foliage. But overall, when I got him, he was pretty healthy. He was active. It's one of the main things I look for. He wasn't dark or anything. Eyes nice and plump. Not swollen. All the good things that we look for in healthy chameleons. So there is some good stores out there. You just gotta know who you can trust. That's the main thing. And if they have healthy chameleons or not. If they don't have healthy chameleons, don't buy it. Because that's only gonna make your life worse and the chameleon's life worse. Because if it has something like stomatitis, that's just worse on the chameleon. I don't know if that really made sense. So yeah, there is some stores you can trust. The only stores you can't trust are Petco and PetSmart. And this isn't to target any of them. It's just basically recommendations. Because from what I've seen, from whatever keepers I've seen and whatever other people I've seen bad chameleons. Like this one right here. They're either too skinny, overweight, kind of lethargic, all kind of basically low on activity. So we don't buy them from chain pet stores, because remember, they most likely come from mills that don't care about their health and they just care about money. That's all they care about. They don't really care how they set up the cages or not. They just want money. That's the big thing they want. They just want money. Then those get shipped to the pet stores and so on. So, it's not like I've seen one chameleon in one cage. I've seen 3, and that was Petco. It was not around my area, though. It was in, like, Tennessee. And this isn't to target them. And just to let everyone know this, don't house chameleons, because it's the 2 things it causes: fights, which can cause injuries and probably death, and 2, stress. And stress is the worst thing we could want in our chameleons, because stress only weakens our immune systems, and that can it basically opens a door for diseases, whatever, to go in, then cause respiratory infections, stomatitis, all of it. Now, like, stuff like gout, I don't think. Prolapse can be caused from stress. But, like, gout, that's more of a kidney thing. It's not really from stress. It's not really a bacteria or disease. It's more of a condition. But it can be from kidney disease. So, that's what poor Ziggy has, gout. Oh my gosh, what was I just talking about? Oh yeah, housing chameleons together. So, just don't house chameleons together in general. They may seem fine as soon as you put them together, but the days on, you might notice some bite marks and they kind of look stressed. Chameleons are solitary reptiles. They just like to be alone. And I've heard people say, "Oh, they look lonely or something." They don't look lonely. It's just the natural look on their face. And the biggest thing that's sad, they don't love you. They don't know how to feel that way. It's really just anger and fear or stress. All of it. That's really the only emotions they can feel, from what I last read. And if some of this is wrong, someone please correct me. I've never housed chameleons together in one cage, and I never plan on it. And I hope you don't either. Again, they're solitary. They're an animal that likes to be alone. And if you house them together, and this goes for babies, juveniles, it goes for all ages. Babies, yeah, they might in the wild, they might they might stay together for a bit, but it's not recommended in captivity. Oh my god. Because that's only going to cause fights over, like, it's going to cause a competition over food, water, territory. And that goes the same for juveniles. They're going to fight over food, water, and territory. And you're talking about, well, for babies, if you house all the babies that the female had laid and that have had hatched from the eggs, maybe around 30 or 40 chameleons in one maybe big size cage like this, I'm really sticking around like the 30 or probably even less, like 20. It's still a lot though. I don't think you want to see like 20 chameleons crawling around one cage. And that's a big problem with female Jackson's chameleons, because you can breed them and they can just wake up. You can just wake up from having like 20 chameleons in one cage. And that's a lot, because they're live bearers. There's no signs, well, there's not really any signs of them laying eggs, or not, oh my gosh, not eggs. Oh my god. The babies. Oh my gosh. Man, I'm tired. The babies, again, because you can wake up with the female in the cage. She might just be basking or something, or while you're about to turn on the lights. And once you turn on the lights, there's tons of chameleons. So you can get surprise babies and female Jackson's chameleons. And you might think, so it doesn't really matter if I get a female or male Jackson's chameleon, because the females don't lay eggs. That's true, but they do lay something infertile. They kind of lay like a yellow slug. It's not alive, it's just like a yellow, like, pile of slime. Not really slime, but it kind of looks like slime. Because they actually have, like, placenta-like organs that, when they are mated with, the babies incubate in there, I'm pretty sure. And when it's time to come out, she just poops them out, one by one. And they come out in this kind of liquid. And I've seen it before, and it just helps. It actually helps them stick to branches. It's kind of cool. And they just uncurl from that, and they go do whatever they want. They already know how to eat, drink, climb, whatever. So they don't need to be guided by their mother. So they're pretty solitary. They know what to do, even when they come right out of the egg. So, that being said, yes, there is good places you can buy chameleons from. You just have to know who you can trust. So, like I said, websites, FL Cams, Fram Scams, Camouflage Creations, those websites are good for buying chameleons if you're interested in buying a chameleon from online. And reptile shows, it applies the same. And there might be some breeders that are like a YouTuber or something that post online that go to this certain reptile show, and you know their chameleons are good. then that's a person you can trust. Because I bought Ziggy from the reptile show. And again, I bought Rango from the local reptile store. So they're all three of Rhino, Rango, and Ziggy are just kind of from different places. And of course, I don't know where they originally came from. But with that being said, yes, there is places you can buy chameleons from. You just have to know who you can trust. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Goodbye.